Hi, I'm Lee Griffiths, and I'm responsible for attracting the best talent at Nationwide Building Society. And we had a session here today where we were talking about the ROI of social media, and for me, social media is it's an incredibly important part of kind of piece of that puzzle. There's kind of absolutely an ROI, and for me, you need to know what that ROI is, because ultimately, if you don't, why are you doing social media? So, social media in the recruitment process is, for me, it's actually a fairly simple one, because you can use it throughout that whole kind of recruitment process. You can use it to engage people, you can use it to find people, and kind of speak to them, keep them in the process if you need to kind of do that side of things. So different channels are good for different things. So LinkedIn can provide you with a really good kind of market information in terms of what your competitors are doing, where certain talent pools sit within the country and within certain organisations, and things like Twitter, really good for kind of broadcast and reach, particularly with the use of hashtags. So don't underestimate the use the value that hashtags deliver. And Facebook is really good for the brand ambassadors. So you've got, within your organisation, you've got X number of employees. Every single one of those could be a brand ambassador. Facebook's a fantastic platform to use them in.
Okay, I'm here today with Lee Griffiths of Nationwide Building Society. Today we've been at the Cornerstone and HR Grapevine roundtable talking about the ROI of social media, Lee. Some interesting points came up today. Obviously you are in quite an enviable position where you have a dedicated role to actually manage social media within Nationwide.
Yeah.
So how are you actually measuring the cost and the returns for your business to actually say social is working for us?
So we've got a series of kind of technology pieces which essentially all plug together, and ultimately that tells me where all of our hires come from, what channels they've come through, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or any number of job boards, our careers site, and all that kind of things. So I can basically put all that together, the amount of money that we spent on those channels, and then attribute it to kind of essentially a cost per hire in that space.
So you say social's working for you?
Absolutely, yeah.
But how many hires a year do you make as an organisation?
We make about, I believe it's just over 5,000 in the last year.
And how many recruiters do you have?
I believe it's somewhere just under 80.
Okay, so fairly sizable recruitment organisation. Yeah. Obviously not all organisations can do the kind of things you're doing. So if you think about some of the organisations that are here today, they're quite small resourcing teams, and they can't do as much as you're doing. So if you were, say, hiring mid-management type level, but you had a limited resourcing team, where would you kind of start your social journey?
For that level, I'd absolutely start with LinkedIn.
Okay.
And look at recruiter licenses, company pay, and a company page to kind of build a bit of engagement. With the recruiter license, I mean, you can do the search, you can set projects up. There's actually it's actually an incredibly powerful tool in terms of the way that you can search for candidates and pull them into various kind of talent pools, to hopefully help you fill roles, faster in the future. Okay,
and you can do some of that with a free recruiter license, of course, or a free LinkedIn license. You don't always have to buy the expensive recruiter license.
Absolutely. I mean, you can absolutely start small. The only reason why I'd say the recruiter license is probably a good thing is that for that kind of level of investment, if you make one hire and you verse that against an agency cost, it will pretty much pay for itself after one, maybe two hires. Yeah. Okay. The biggest benefit with that is that you can literally reach out to any one of those, however many hundreds of millions of kind of people that are on LinkedIn, and that there's no limits, in terms of the number of connections that you would have if you were using it for free.
And would you agree? I mean, because you go to a lot of these kind of things, you talk to a lot of people within the in-house marketplace. Would you agree that it's still probably 20% of organisations are doing 80% of the activity on social, and most recruitment organisations, in-house teams, are still getting used to social. It's quite new to them still.
Yeah, from what I found, there's we are probably in quite an enviable position in terms of being on this journey for the last probably just over 2 years. There's lots of organisations that are of a similar size, or maybe sometimes even larger, that aren't as far down the road as we are.
Okay.
Ultimately for me, it's about trying new things, learning from the things that don't work, and doing more of the things that do. And ultimately, you never really fail, because you'll learn from that failure, and then hopefully you'll have a success from that point forward. Okay,
so what we're saying really then is, if you're a smallish recruitment business or recruitment organisation and you're still learning social, don't feel too disheartened, because the majority of people are still in a similar position. You're kind of type of person leading the way, but you're still in the minority, so there's still plenty of opportunity for everybody else, and not be too worried that they must feel they're kind of behind everybody.
No, I think particularly with social, pretty much with anything, you need to find out what you can go out and uniquely say, and find your niche within that social media network, within those kind of social channels, and get that message out there, because every organisation will have something that that no other organisation can say that you can. Get out there, tell that message, and using social media to do that. It's a fantastic kind of it's a fantastic tool to really reach an awful lot of people.
So would you agree then? So somebody not too comfortable with social, to start off, pick a particular type of candidate audience you're looking to chase after, that you need to recruit for. Pick the relevant channel for that audience and start there, baby steps, and then kind of get going that way.
Yeah, it would certainly be the safest way to, the safest and the most kind of controlled way to do it. Yeah, absolutely, wholly agree.
Okay, thank you very much, Lee.
Thank you.